Welcome to ECE 111. I'm Jake Lauer, the instructor for the course, and this is just a quick summary of what you're going to be doing, what we're going to be covering over this course this summer. Now, this is an introduction to electrical and computer engineering and software engineering. Now, what those are, electrical engineering is typically a major where you analyze and design devices that use electricity. That'd be electronics, filters, interfaces to computers, pretty much everything. It may or may not include a computer in it. In computer engineering, that's software and hardware tied together with a computer. So we've got the software will read the inputs and control the outputs using software. In computer engineering, you typically look at low-level programming, like reading the sensors, driving the actuators. Mid-level programming, think of like getting a quadcopter to hover, typically 1,000 lines of code. Then there's high-level programming. That's like do a gradient search, do AI. That's more computer science. Software engineering focuses primarily on software. It may include some hardware. It kind of helps to know what the program does when you write it, and looks at high-level programming, such as artificial intelligence, getting quadcopter to swarm, do a gradient search, find a gas leak, typically 1,000+ lines of code. So this is an introduction to what's offered in the electrical computer engineering program at NDSU, all three of these majors. Now, there's a couple of reasons this course exists. One of the reasons is in electrical computer engineering, we lose about half of our students in the math sequence. When you graduate from NDSU, you're only 2 courses away from having a math minor. It's kind of a long slog. You've got to go through algebra, one equation, one unknown, trigonometry, sine, cosine, unit circle, Calc 1, differentiation, Calc 2, integration, Calc 3, Calc 4, differential equations. Once you get through Calc 1, you can start into your major Circuits 1. Well, about half of our students don't get through this sequence. So we offer 111 as kind of a recruiting rah-rah class to let you know this is why you're taking all that math. It's needed. And electrical engineering is a blast. It's a whole lot of fun. But you got to get through the math sequence. So this is going to try to encourage you to stick it out. It gets better. Also, why you're taking all these math classes. That's one reason this class exists. Second reason is MATLAB. Pretty much all these classes use MATLAB. MATLAB is basically a calculator on steroids. It's a calculator that does graphics, solves n equations, n unknowns, matrices, solves nonlinear equations. It's kind of a programming language. It's become the standard language throughout industry and engineering. And we use it extensively in our courses as well. Some feedback from students was that it would be really nice if we had a course that taught you how to use MATLAB before we expected you to use MATLAB in Circuits 1, Circuits 2. That's this course. So that's kind of 2 objectives. What we'll be doing in this course is kind of going through the entire curriculum in ECE, picking out various problems that you'll encounter when you take these classes, and how to use MATLAB to solve those problems using numerical methods. Now, you're not going to get to these classes until later, so the theory about how they work or how to solve them by hand, stay tuned, you'll cover that later. For this class with MATLAB, MATLAB's a really powerful language. We'll look at how to solve that problem using numerical techniques and MATLAB. And that's really the focus of the course, how to use MATLAB. So kind of as an example, with MATLAB, you can solve all sorts of problems. One of the problems you can solve is how to solve a function equals 0. So for example, if I have a thermistor, that is a component where the resistance varies with temperature, I can put it in a circuit and have a voltage that varies with temperature. If I know the temperature, I can tell you what the voltage is. If I go backwards, I measure the voltage. What's the temperature? Well, one way to do that is numerical techniques. I'm going to take this function, iterate back and forth until eventually I find out where is it 7.5 volts. Once I find it, poof, I've got the answer. That's the temperature. So we'll be looking at numerical techniques using MATLAB. When you take trigonometry, that's all about sines and cosines, unit circle. One application is robotics. If you have a robotic arm, I can specify the joint angles. So you've got basically the shoulder drives the elbow, drives the wrist. If I know what the joint angles are, where's the tip? That's called forward kinematics. Inverse kinematics. I know where the tip is. what are the joint angles? That's called inverse kinematics. Well, that's something MATLAB can do as well. MATLAB is really good at number crunching. If I know the lengths and the angles, I can tell you where the tip position is. The harder one is given the tip position, what angles put me there? Well, that's something that MATLAB can solve using numerical techniques. During week 4, we'll look at linear algebra. Linear algebra is how to solve n equations for n unknowns. And rather than just give you made-up data, we're going to look at real data. You can look at global temperatures. You can look at sea ice levels. You can look at CO2 levels and see what the trends are. That way we don't have to listen to experts. As engineers, we're really good at analyzing data. With MATLAB and the web, I can bring in the data, I can analyze it, and you can see for yourself what's happening. During week 6, we'll look at calculus, stuff you do in calculus like differentiation. Given a function, like if I have a robot arm, I know the angle versus time. Take the derivative, I know the velocity. Velocity is basically the voltage on a motor. I can take the second derivative, acceleration. That's basically the current going to the motor. So given a path, I can tell you what's the applied voltage and current. And if I don't like those, I can change the path. That's called path planning. How do I go from point A to point B along different paths? And what do they mean in terms of voltage and current, first derivative, second derivative? So overall, over the summer, we'll be covering, well, summer lasts 12 weeks. In the 12 weeks of the summer, we'll cover 12 different topics that you'll be covering over the next 4 years at NDSU, and how to use MATLAB to solve that type of problem. Again, the emphasis for this course is how to use MATLAB, and that's kind of what you should be focusing on. It might be a little bit vague as to what we're covering, how that actually works, and that's kind of be expected. You'll be covering that in more details in the future. For this course, it's how to use MATLAB, and what you should see is that MATLAB is a really useful tool. You can solve all sorts of problems with MATLAB. In terms of course information, I'm Jake Lauer. The lectures are all online on YouTube. My office hours are going to be Mondays, 8 a.m. till noon, and I check my emails throughout the week, throughout the summer. If you need help, just shoot me an email. I can probably get back to you or open up a Zoom link, and Zoom works really well. You can share your screen, show me what you're doing. You can kind of see what you have to do to get MATLAB to work for you. Bulletin description is Introduction to Electrical Computer Engineering, Problem Solving, Design, Professional Issues. The objective is by the end of the semester, you should know what courses you need to take to graduate in electrical and computer engineering, be able to solve problems from various areas in ECE using MATLAB, and be able to use MATLAB, some functions in MATLAB, like functions, plotting, creating M files, writing scripts. Now, the way this class is offered, in the summer, this class is only offered online. If you would like to take it in person or live stream, that's available spring and fall. Summer is online only. Kind of the idea is back with COVID, online was offered partly for safety. I wanted to make the class so effective, so convenient online that people chose to take it online for safety reasons. Well, now that COVID's mostly over, the online we just kept. And what's actually happening is most of our students take the class online anyway, so we're just keeping that as an option. And over the summer, that kind of works better to have classes online. We can offer more classes online than we can in person. Gives you more options. A couple things for your to-do list. If you're taking this class over the summer, here's 2 things you need to get done. First, you need to get MATLAB. The whole point behind this class is how to get used to using MATLAB. MATLAB you can download, use at home, use on your own computer. It's free for NDSU students to use. You just have to register using your NDSU email address. And note, you've got to use the email address that's ndsu.edu. You also have an NDUS email address. That's for the North Dakota University system. That includes UND, Dickinson State, Williston State. We don't pay for those students. NDSU only pays for NDSU students. So this is not going to work. You got to use your NDSU email address. The second thing you need to do is get a Circuit Lab account. If you go to circuitlab.com, you can register for Circuit Lab. It's free. Just register using your NDSU email address, and you can use it as long as you're a student at NDSU. We'll be using both of these over the next semester. You'll actually be using both of those throughout your time at NDSU. The resources you need for this class is MATLAB and Circuit Lab, primarily. A calculator that can do complex numbers is nice. I actually use a calculator and MATLAB at the same time. MATLAB is a really good calculator, but sometimes it's just easier doing things on a hand calculator. In electrical computer engineering, we live and breathe complex numbers. So you need a calculator that can handle complex numbers, especially when you get to Circuits 1. What I recommend is the HP42. This is a free app on your cell phone called Free42. Just download it, get used to it. It's got a learning curve, so don't learn how to use this on a test. But in my opinion, it's worth about 10 points in the midterm once you get used to it. There's also the HP Prime available on Amazon. Most students use the TI-84. Whatever you use is fine. Just make sure you can do complex numbers. And kind of a good test of it is do the homeworks in this class. If you can do the homeworks in this class with your calculator, you got a good calculator. If your calculator doesn't do very well in this class, you need a new calculator. I recommend the HP42. The textbook for this course is Bison Academy. If you go to Bison Academy, this is the semi-official website for the ECE department. It's got a dozen or so courses on them, including 111. Click on that. That takes you to the syllabus. So this is the syllabus for 111. Currently it's spring semester, so summer syllabus hasn't come up yet. But you've got all the lectures, the recorded lectures, handouts, homework set solutions. You've got solutions to previous semester's homework sets in PDF format as a YouTube video. It's a nice reference, and not just this class. If you want to look ahead and see what you're going to be doing in Circuits 1, Circuits 2, electronics, all that's available. It's there because, well, again, sometimes you want to look ahead, see what's coming up. Sometimes you want to go back and get a refresher. On Blackboard, you're locked out as soon as the semester's over. Bison Academy is wide open all the time. You can see all courses for every semester all the time on Bison Academy. So I kind of prefer it. And that's a standing offer for all my students. You're always welcome to go on Bison Academy, see the material ahead of time, previous classes. In fact, anybody with access to the web is welcome to it. There's also homework sets and solutions. If you ever get stuck and you want to know what to do, that's a good place to go. The problems change every semester, so don't just submit a previous solution. But the techniques, the MATLAB commands, how you approach the problem are similar. To submit your homework sets, you can submit your homework either on Blackboard or email them to me. To create your homework set, MS Word works really well. You can copy your MATLAB code into Word. If you have an image, I can do a screen capture and copy the image into Word. It's a good way to document that you're using MATLAB, that you got the right answer, that you know what you're doing. And it's perfectly fine to use JPEG files to submit your homework. You can use PDF files. As long as I can open it, I'm good. Now, under Resources, that's under Bison Academy 111, you've also got where to go to get Circuit Lab, where to go to get MATLAB, where to go to get Scilab. This is a free version of MATLAB. Information on the HP calculators, StatTrack, weather data, stuff used throughout the semester. In terms of grading, your grading in this class will be 100% based on your homework. So please do the homework. It does affect your grades if you don't do the homework. Grades are rounded to the nearest 1%. So if you have 90% on the homeworks, you got an A. There is no final in this class, because since we kind of go through the entire curriculum, the final is you graduate. In this class, grading is 100% based on homework. All lectures are uploaded on Bison Academy. You've got the lecture in landscape format, in portrait format. Portrait's nice if you want to do a printout. Landscape's nice for the videos. All lectures have been recorded, uploaded on YouTube. You pick out the links here. There's a YouTube playlist. If you want to binge watch with your friends and neighbors, watch all the videos all at once. Again, the material, trying to make it convenient for you. And note that the focus is using MATLAB. The first time is always the hardest, so that's kind of the intent of this class. Get used to using MATLAB, get over that hurdle of using MATLAB for the first time in this class, so when you get to Circuits 1, Circuits 2, you're more familiar with MATLAB, you can focus on the course material rather than fighting with the software. In terms of recitation and office hours, homework sets are due every Monday. I'll be available on Mondays for Zoom, 8 a.m. till noon. Throughout the week, just shoot me an email. I check my emails regularly. And legal stuff, attendance is required. However, how you attend is up to you. In the summer, it's watch the videos, read the lecture notes, your pick. If you have special needs, let us know. We will accommodate you. For academic honesty, the point behind that is that when you graduate, you'll be designing defibrillators, pacemakers, flight controllers, stuff like that. It's important that you learn this material before you graduate because you're going to need it on your job. If you can figure out how to get through the curriculum, getting an A without learning anything, please don't. And you're going to need this when you graduate. Your boss will very quickly pick up that you don't know anything if you manage to get through that way. Plus, it's kind of my job to see that you don't get through if you don't learn anything. If you're a veteran, let us know. We will accommodate you. So that's kind of an overview of the course. It's hopefully a fun course where you get to use MATLAB and see some of the capabilities of MATLAB. It's a really nice, really powerful program. Does animation really well, does curve fitting really well. A course that I hope you enjoy. If you have any questions, I am more than happy to answer them. Just shoot me an email, and I'm more than happy to join and chat with you on Zoom. Otherwise, hope you enjoy the course and look forward to working with you over the summer.